there are no other question, guys, I'll go ahead and show you this super cool tool that I built for Spotlight, for building Spotlight. So of course, if you can get AI to make your work easier and faster, right? Why not do it? So we will be building a Spotlight today for a skincare studio clinic. And you can, maybe drive some ideas from this. But okay, so I will be going inside the business. First thing you need to do is go inside the business, click on create, and you should select between the three AI tools that we have here in AskSpot. And we will be adding more soon, so stay tuned for that, guys. So there will be some cool new features that will be added soon. So let's click on Spotlight. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat or unmute your mic if you have any questions on what I'm building right now. Okay, so create from existing chatbot. If you already have a chatbot, you can create a spotlight from it. But for this one, I'll leave it as this. And for the name, let's just say Skincare Studio.
Just a question. Why would you create a bot from an existing bot? If you're using it for a similar type of purpose or
This is for if you want to create a spotlight from a chatbot because a spotlight has its own chat inside it, right? So instead of
right?
building an entirely new one, you can just select from the chatbots that you have already built and maybe change a little bit of it or maybe change just something on it. So it just helps you build a spotlight much faster.
Okay.
Mhm.
So just use it as a baseline and
Yep.
recode it to what you want for the purpose.
For the purpose. That's right. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. You're welcome. All right. So type status, I think that's fine. Pre-fill data. Nope. I will be filling out the data and click create. Okay, so there it is. Let's click on this and go inside. First thing that we need to do, of course, for all the AI tools inside AskSpot, you have to add at least one resource before you can see your AI tool. So let me go ahead. I have this custom GPT inside ChatGPT that helps me create the spotlight much faster. I can give you a copy or link to this if you want to use it also.
So is that a standard feature or is that just text you've already derived and added in there?
Sorry, this one, the
Yeah.
custom GPT. Oh, the custom GPT just allows me to like build spotlights much faster. So this was created just for assisting in creation of a spotlight. So
No,
uh,
I
just build
understand that, but
inside.
do you
Chat.
have Chat GPT embedded within the tool or do
Oh,
we
oh,
have to use that alongside of it?
you have to use it alongside of it. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
But
you.
maybe we can have that available soon inside AskSpot. We don't know. There's a lot of
That's the
possibilities.
future.
Well, AI advances so fast. I mean, we have to get on board with it. Okay, so here's the source that I will be adding. Okay, so once that's added, we can go to settings and you'll see the customization. It's pretty empty right now, so we will be filling this out. I already have created some custom themes. If I want to change this a little bit, we can do so. These were derived from all the other spotlights that I've already created before. I think that one's okay. I think this one's look good. Okay, let's save that. So changes. Now let's go to general. So let me check what the custom GPT said for the title. I think it will be the name of the business. So spotlight name, Glow Skincare Studio. Call to action. I also asked it to create the call to action for us. So if you have a client that you're building a spotlight for, you can just send some information to this custom GPT, and it will build the entire thing, and maybe a little bit of your goal for this spotlight, and it will be able to build you the entire thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you, but while you're on that part, when you said to
Mm-hmm.
something about getting some information from the client, do
Mm-hmm.
you already have a pre-done form or something that you know is to make it real easy to get information so we don't have to build our own or what?
Oh, for the spotlight, there is none yet for the. Oh, I think I have one. One second. Let me check that real quick, Connie. One
And
second.
also, while you're checking that, I, for one, would sure like to have that a copy of that GPT, please.
Certainly, certainly. I'll give you a copy of that. Now, let's see. Okay. So here's an IntelliForm that I created that you can use to gather information from the client. And based on what they're going to answer in this form, you can create a spotlight from it. So what you can do actually is if they've filled out this form, you can just export their responses to this form, give it to the custom GPT, and it will create the entire spotlight for you. So this just makes the process easier for you guys. So I'll also drop a link to this spotlight setup in Teleform that you
Thank you.
can give to your clients. Yep. Share. Let me just get this on chat for you guys. In Teleform, oh, sorry. I'll give you a duplicate copy instead um, so you can customize it to your business. Duplicate via link. Okay, so you can import this to your AskSpot accounts. Okay, I just pasted that on chat. All right. Now let's go back to the spotlight we were building. Feel free to explore that form, you guys, the IntelliForm, and you can also change the inputs from the IntelliForm based on what you want to collect to be able to create the spotlight. So that's all customizable. Oh, let me get that back. I lost the title. Okay, and then CTA would be this, and then there's a sample URL you can put, and also custom links. You can add up to 4 custom links. Let me just paste this right here. Oh, where's that? Some gift cards for the client, or testimonials, or maybe a contact us link. Okay, now links alignment. I'll put this in the center just to make it look good. Okay, let me just get that link. And paste it here for now. Save changes. And for the logo, I created one from Canva. Super helpful tool. Let me get that. And upload. Image uploaded successfully. Where is it? Let me do that again. Okay. And upload. Okay, I think I'm having connection issues with this. Let's leave that for now, and let's do a preview with what we've built so far. So there's your nav bar right here. And these are the links and the CTA that we have added. So next, what we will edit is this part, the
Hey,
profile
Kim,
part. Mhm.
what, two questions. One was, what size did you do that in Canva?
In Canva, oh, great question. Let me check. Think it should be, let me go to my Canva account.
Because I know it asked to do it in 40 by 40, but Canva or 32 by I forget, but Canva won't go that small. So
Correct. Yeah. Right. So here's the size in Canva. So it's 500 by 500 pixels.
okay.
Mhm.
And then the second thing is I had the same problem you had yesterday to where it wouldn't like put the picture in there. It wouldn't do it. And I tried refreshing the page. That didn't do it. I went out and into another business
Mhm.
and then back to that one, and then I was able to do it. I don't know why. There's must be something in the
Yeah, there must be something going on. So I'll make sure to
yeah.
report that to the devs so we can get that fixed.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for letting me know about this, Steve. I appreciate it. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, we will be creating the profile part now. So click here to add a profile image. Now let's try to add this one. Crop. Think I added a stock photo right here. Just give me 1 second. Oh, not that one. No. Oh, this one. Okay. And open. Please select correct. Okay, so it should be on this supported format. So don't make the same mistake as I did, guys. I will be using Canva to convert that image. So if a client gives you a different formatted image, what you can do is go inside Canva and add it right there, right here to change the format. So let me just open that and copy the image, paste it here. Let's use a 1 by 1 picture. Okay, there you go. Now I should be able to download this on the correct format. Okay, so click here to add a profile image. Let's upload that now. Open and upload. All right, so that uploaded successfully with the correct format. Now, you can also add a profile video if you want. You just paste the embed code from here, maybe a video walkthrough of their business, something like that. And for the profile description, I already have ChatGPT who generated that for me. So there you go. Now you can also add social media links with the Intel form that I gave you guys on the chat. It should be asking for the social media links also, so you can put it right here. So let's just put Instagram for this sample Instagram, and then I think this one should be Facebook. Next would be okay, TikTok. TikTok, okay. And then for the custom link, let's add Yelp. All right. Okay. So let's save this now. And once you're done with the profile part, the next step would be, so that's the profile part of your Spotlight. The next step would be the chat part of your Spotlight. So let's go ahead and go to chat. If you selected like a chat bot for for this Spotlight, you won't have to fill out this portion. It will already be pre-filled by the chatbot that you use to create this Spotlight. But for this, let's build it now from scratch. Do you want to allow user to send chat text messages? So yes, I want them to be able to chat with the AI. So we will leave that in check mode. Show like or dislike buttons. Yes, let's keep it at that. So let me just copy for the chat options. Let's add this. Explore our services, ask questions, and then it said that we can add or this suggested channels. So this just helps direct the user more or have more directions inside the spotlight. So that has to be built inside the channel section in AskSpot. So let's go to channel and click on add channel. And from here, the first channel would be a Q&A channel. So let's add that right now. Okay, and I will leave this blank because I want the AI to respond to it. If you put a text or a character in here, it will override the AI response. Form channel, you can also add that. Add form channel and then contact information. So if you will be adding a form channel, it has to be pre-built from the lead forms section inside AskSpot, so you can select it from your channels. Once it's built, you just select it from the drop down right here. And you also have an option to set your form as primary. That means the form will show up automatically right after opening the spotlight or after a number, or after the first message was sent to the spotlight or after the user has sent a number of messages, the form will pop up or will be triggered. So let's update that. Okay. Save changes. Next will be a URL, channel. I don't think we need that since we already have a lot of URLs added into the spotlight. And you can also add a flow channel if you want. Right here, you can add that from this part. So let's add this to for now and do a little preview. Okay, so here's how it looks like right now. I think I want to add more in here. Okay, let's add a carousel of images or maybe testimonials in here. So I will be using the flow builder for that. So I can add like a gallery of
Quick
testimonials.
question. Is the chatbot usually intended to be on its own web page? Or can it be part of an existing web page?
So sorry, I'm not sure what you mean by part of an existing web page. What do you mean by it? Can you elaborate on that, Noel?
Like if you
Mhm.
want to take somebody to, I don't know, a special site or something on your customer site, but you want to get some information from them first. So you want to put in a bot, you want to add a form
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
in, and then at the end of the form, we want to give them access to a particular URL.
Mhm.
What do you suggest would be the best way to do that?
Okay, gotcha. You can use the direct. We have sharing options for a chatbot. So either you use the direct to chatbot page link, or you can use a full screen chatbot link. So this will automatically open
Oh, I see. Okay.
chatbot. Yep, kind of like a landing
Okay.
page.
Okay,
Um,
so yeah, it's just taking you directly to the bot itself on its own page. Okay.
But if you want to add it like as a widget, like this
Mm-hmm.
one, sorry, let me
Yeah.
just change that. That's the AI. It's the AI nav. So if you want to incorporate this into a website, that's also possible by using the embed code right here. So this would
Okay.
embed this widget directly onto a page. Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right. So as I was building, yeah, I'm building a flow builder for the spotlight that we're creating right now. So I will be using a gallery block. So if you want to add more features to your spotlight or to your chatbot, I highly suggest going inside the flow builder section since it has a lot of tools that you can use to enhance your spotlight or your chatbot in here. So gallery, and then I will be adding new media, I think 3. It suffice. Okay. Now upload an image from your device. Okay. Testimonial. These are all from Canva. Okay, so that's uploading. Let's change this one by one. Okay, now let me add another one right here. Upload an image. Open. Okay, so that's been added. One by one is what I want. And another testimonial. Let's see. What's that? I just added that. Okay, so let's just add this two for now. Right? And save. And I'll be adding maybe an AI. Oh yeah, an AI mode into so that it will be redirected to the AI chat in here. So and save flow. Now I will be adding this flow into the spotlight. Okay, now go to settings. I'll be adding it right here under flow setting. They want to use flow instead of AI chat. Yes, that's fine because there's an AI chat inside the flow that I created. And save changes. Flow is enable override. Okay, so here's how it looks like right now. You've added your carousel of images or maybe testimonials, and then here's the AI asking you what you want to do, and here's your channels right down below. So that's it. That's the spotlight that we created for Glow Skincare Studio. You can also add, I highly suggest also adding on the flow. You can use the event scheduler block inside so that they can book their time. So let me just show you this. Oh, I don't think I can add it because I have an AI mode block. Let me just delete this one. So an event scheduler looks like this. Add an event, and then you can select between Go High Level, Calendly, and Tidycal. So if you have a Calendly, or if you accept bookings through Calendly, or maybe you're using Go High Level, you can integrate that inside AskSpot and add it to the Spotlight so they can book their appointments directly from here and select a time directly from this page. So that's just one additional enhancement that you can do. And yep, I think that's it. Any question, guys, before we end the call?
Hey, Kim, great job. This is Dave. So let's talk about, some different ways that you could probably use this for a business or help a business use this. So what you did is generally build out a spotlight page for, a skincare studio, but you could essentially also build these out for particular products or services that a skin care studio would offer. So maybe they did microdermabrasion or facials. Each one of those services could have their own spotlight page, right? Where the AI and the bot is trained about that particular service and all of the common questions that many people have about that particular service. And it could answer those questions. It could direct people to book an appointment for that service. So that's like another, if you want to go a little bit deeper and talk about different ways that, a skincare studio could use it or any other type of business, you could kind of think about it that way. Anything that you want to put attention on or quote unquote a spotlight on is a great use case for one of these pages.
Dave, where and how do you like promote this? Like, do you? I know you could use a QR code to get them there, but I mean, is it something that you put on their website or do you put on What's the different ways of doing that?
Sure. Well, Steve, let's talk about, tell me some ways that you would promote a business in general if they had a product or service. What are some of the ways that you would do that?
Well, that's what I'm having trouble with doing these spotlights. It's like I know I can, use the thing and make
Hmm.
a QR code to send them there,
Yeah.
but I'm struggling with other ways to do it.
Steve, essentially this is a landing page
Okay.
that has some AI capabilities built into it, right?
Hmm.
So if I was working as a consultant or doing some marketing for a skincare studio, maybe I'd be doing email marketing for them. And in one of my weekly email newsletters, I might highlight one of our services. And when I highlighted one of those services in my email, where I was talking about, a microdermabrasion service, I could put a link to learn more, right? In that email. When somebody
Okay.
clicks on that email, that link in the email to learn more about that service or get more details or info about it, they could land on one of these pages. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Right? It's just like anything else. Like it's really just a landing page. I think maybe some folks are just thinking a little too hard and confusing themselves. Like there's really nothing too crazy going on here. It's a page that has some basic info. It's got some links, it's got some social links, and it has an AI bot that's trained on something specific. It could be used as a profile page for somebody like a consultant or a business owner, like a digital business card. It can be used to highlight a specific product or service. It can be used to give details and information and answer questions about an event. Um, you know, if you were running an event for a client or helping them with it, and maybe you made an event on Facebook, right? There's always a link to learn more, get more information. Maybe this is where you'd link off to.
Okay. So can these also be used just as a bot on their webpage? And it just takes when you click on it, it's just a spotlight?
You could, sure, you could absolutely.
Okay.
Really, it's just a landing page,
Okay.
right? If you're running a Facebook ad for something in particular, maybe an event, maybe a product or service, you could use one of these spotlight pages to link out to for somebody to learn more about whatever it is that you're promoting or advertising.
Hmm.
So if that makes sense, like, um, yeah, you could use a QR code, you could use a NFC card, you could link out to it in email marketing. You could use it as a link that a Facebook ad or a lead ad, runs to. It's really just a landing page that spotlights something, whether it's a person, a product, a service, an event. And then the AI here is intended to be trained on that particular thing, whether it's a product, service, event, personal info, whatever it happens to be.
Okay.
I have a question. It's not necessarily about a spotlight, but since Dave is here answering questions, is there anything in AskSpot that could act like a calendar that I haven't run a newsletter with a calendar of events, but doesn't look like a calendar. It's just a list by days and dates. And I've had several readers say, why don't you put all this on a Google calendar and share it so that anybody can check, just like a calendar, or add it to their Google calendars. I don't
Hmm.
necessarily want to do that, but I'd sure like to make it easier where I could put information instead of just in a list, more like a calendar as well, and put the day, the date, the time, and a link if needed.
Yeah, I mean, you can create a spreadsheet that has, the event name, the event info, a link to learn more, and all the information on it, and then use that as a source to train the AI, and then people could interact with it kind of like a chatbot and get answers to their questions or learn about upcoming events.
Do you have any sample, Kim, that looks like that you can show me?
Not at the moment, but what David is mentioning, you can connect like an online sheet to it and add the events and turn on the auto sync so that as you update it, the chatbot will auto sync the new events. No examples for that at the moment. So, but here's where you can connect that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess I just build it more like a bot than if they wanted to know what's happening on July 1st, they could
Mhm.
just go to that and do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Super
Thanks.
simple. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Any other question, guys? Feel free to unmute your mic while we have David on the call.
I've been trying to book a call through your calendar, and it keeps returning that the CAPTCHA is not working.
CAPTCHA. Oh,
Yeah.
let me just. I'll connect with you. Are you on school, Jeffrey?
I guess I am.
Okay. Can I connect on you there via chat and I'll set up the call myself. Okay. You can just
Sure.
send me your availability. Yeah, I'll set it up myself.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right. Any other question, guys?
I have a quick question. Can you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
It's in relation, kind of a follow-up to Connie's question. Can you embed, like if you have a visual calendar, can you embed it into that page and then also have the chat that's synced to it to answer the questions if they have some?
You can't embed a calendar, but you could certainly like link off to one, and you could train the AI to instruct somebody. You know, if somebody asks, what are the upcoming calendar events? You can have the AI trained to give a direct link right to the calendar, but you can't embed it.
Okay, so if you wanted the visual calendar, it would make more sense to just use like a chat bot on the calendar page or whatever into the, okay, I'm just trying to
Mhm.
understand the best use cases. So yeah. All right, thanks.
Sure.
So David, how do you explain or convince someone that this landing page is better than just having a page on their website? What are the better advantages rather than just having all the information as one of their pages on their regular website?
Well, the advantage is the AI assistant on the page, specifically for answering questions. Again, I'll go back to like Kim's example here. You can set this up, Matt. She just did it in general for a studio, but what if it was for one of their products or services? Like they did liposuction or, microdermabrasion. You set up a bunch of these pages for all their different services. And then you can lead people to the page and they can ask questions. The AI can be trained in great detail about the services and all the common questions and side effects and all the things that come along with that service. And people can engage with it and ask all of its questions and get, the answers to their questions fast and efficiently. And then, you can also instruct the AI to act as a sales agent too and encourage people to click to make an appointment or call the office. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I guess I'm still confused as far as the AI goes. Does the AI stay only as you train it, or does it go out and hallucinate and pull from anybody else's information?
No, the AI is strictly trained on the information that you give it, just like on any other bot here in AskSpot. If you notice, when you create a new chatbot, there is no chatbot until you give it a source or some type of knowledge or context.
Right,
So,
but when I went through and tried to do one before it and added the AI, it was just like going out across the web and pulling in information. I couldn't keep it. It didn't seem like it would stay specific to only information I gave it.
I mean,
So
it only
where,
has it's only pulling from the knowledge and context that you give it,
okay,
right?
all right.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
helpful.
And then also what goes along with that is the prompt. So if you go to settings and AI configuration, the prompt that you see here, this is your system prompt. This is like the set of instructions for the job that this particular assistant has and the way it's going to act and the persona it's going to use. So that is also very important.
Correct. And
So you can
in
set
making
rule.
bots, in making the
Go,
bots, I've understood that, and then I understand how a bot itself stays with the source. But I was concerned that in the lead forms or your spotlight, that when you pull that AI over, that AI is more widely open to the whole source of the internet rather than strictly to the source of your information. I guess that's what I'm really concerned with, that we love AI, but there's so much out there that you don't want necessarily for somebody's business.
yeah, and that's the prompt in terms of the prompt goes a long way in dictating what your assistant is going to do or how it's going to answer questions or what it will or will not do, right? For
Okay.
instance, on our bot that we have on the homepage of AskSpot, I've told and given instructions that it's only to answer questions about AskSpot. Oftentimes people come to our website and ask how our tool compares to some other tool platform's tool, and we don't have that information, right? So when somebody does that, it will redirect them back to only asking or answering questions about our platform specifically. So
Okay.
the prompt also goes a long way into how this thing is going to act and the job description of what it's going to do for people who are engaging with it.
Okay. So you have to really limit the allowance of extraneous information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you,
So
David.
Sure.
further to Gennaro's question, can you specify on a web page, let's say there's a lot of content on a web page, can you isolate one particular page on a URL, or can you do the whole thing? Is there also a limitation to the amount of information that you can use as your input source input
Sure.
source?
Yeah, so there is a limit, but the limit's very, very high. We're talking about, I think we're at 5 million characters, so it's pretty high. But there is a limit, yeah. In terms of training and context and sources and knowledge that you're going to give the AI, we always recommend that you kind of think about the information that you're going to give it. Some people, when they first come in and start building an AI bot here, they're like, oh, I can, use website sources. I'm going to give this assistant or bot that I'm building every page of the website. And sometimes that can be a mistake because, websites have been around for a long time. Oftentimes there's pages that are old and outdated with old and outdated information on them. And you want to be careful about what information and context you're giving the AI because it's going to be pulling from that to create the answers to questions that people are asking, right? So it's not always a good idea just because you can scan a whole website to do so. So we definitely always recommend that when you're creating a new assistant or chatbot for a business, really go ahead and take a look at their website and see where the real information is that the chatbot will need. there's oftentimes things like blog posts and other things that are not really necessary in terms of context and knowledge for answering people's questions, right? So it's important to give it like the minimum amount of information that it needs, because when you do that, it will always produce better results for you in terms of the answers to the questions that people are asking.
So another question further to that is, if you've got a secure location on a website that's only available for insiders, like the professionals that are directly working with the product or service,
it's not going to be able to access that. What you'd want to do is probably, download or get that content out of that secure members area and maybe turn it into a PDF or a document, and then upload either those documents or a PDF or whatever it happens to be.
And so then you can use that to create a bot, and then you can make that bot only accessible by a successful login. Is my
Or
question.
the passcode that she showed us.
Okay, all right.
Well, I mean, you could embed a bot on a page that's in a members area if you wanted to.
Okay. Now,
is that what you're asking?
Kind of. So back to your 5 million characters, is that per bot?
Yes.
Or is that for the whole thing?
No, per bot.
Okay. So if you needed more than 5 million characters, then you just have several bots.
Sure.
Okay. And then if there are updates on the source web page that you're getting the content from, is there any way of synchronizing the updates, or do you have to go through the process of importing all over again?
Well, if it's on a web page, you can turn on our auto refresh feature. That also works with like Google Docs or Google Sheets. But if it's a file, then no, you'd have to re-upload a file.
Okay.
Kim, I think you were going to give us the link to that Spotlight GPT.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Let me paste that on chat, and that will also be available inside school. If you missed that on chat, I'll make sure that's also available.
I have a quick question for Drew. I'm wondering if there's any data available on analytics for people that are engaging with chat bots, in terms of, something like, if a person is interacting 3 times, does that either result in a click through or an action or something like that? Thanks.
We don't have any data on that. I mean, it's every interaction is different, every use case is different, every business is different. But what we do know is people do appreciate the ability to get efficient answers to the questions that they have, rather than searching around or poking around on a website. Those FAQs that every person, what time you open till, what do you have this product in stock,
Sure.
do you
Yeah.
offer this, how do I make an appointment, right? People do appreciate efficiency, but I don't have analytics on or data on what you're asking.
If you have to, a different kind of question, if you have to train a bot in terms of like scientific language or specialized technical language for industry, do you find that the 5 million cap is still adequate, or is there any other things that you'd suggest that would better train a bot in that kind of highly technical environment?
5 million characters is a lot.
I don't know, so I'm just asking the
Yeah,
question.
I mean,
Hey, Dave, I'll jump in real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content on that site.
What was that?
I said the site that she's referring to, Noelle and I work together.
Yeah.
Okay.
The source site has a lot of data, and it's just going to grow exponentially. So that's what she's asking. is.
Yeah, like if, you have a whole bunch of scientific papers that, you want to have access to for questions regarding products or
Sure.
results and things like that.
My,
I
my
should
That's
jump
kind of
suggestion,
in.
where I'm going.
my suggestion would be to give it a try. Go in
Okay.
and create a bot and see where that gets you in terms of the amount
Okay.
of care. Go
Yep.
ahead, Drew.
Yeah, one way to handle that. Hey guys, this is Drew, by the way. So in my former life, I was a hyperbaric wound care nurse. So we used to train other medical professionals, nurses, doctors, physicians on becoming certified in wound care. So I've created some training, and I don't have it right in front of me, but one thing that you could do is just upload multiple sources. I trained one of our AskSpot bots how to become wound care certified. So there's like a ton of content and material, including questions and answers and quizzes and volumes and volumes and volumes of like educational material. And what I did just for my sanity was I just uploaded, a handful of documents and training materials to educate and train my bot to become an instructor. So above and beyond, like, okay, let's deliver a quiz. So when somebody goes through and they ask questions about the integumentary system or the muscular system or the
Mm-hmm.
cardiac system, et cetera, they would have modular based types of information. So really, to answer your question, it does really well when you train the bot on, volumes, right? So I would just consider doing that and not just throwing it, a vast amount of content at it right away. Think about it,
Mm-hmm.
as all right, chapter one, chapter two, chapter three. Even though that might seem burdensome, it can handle volumes like in
Mm-hmm.
chunks. But that might be one way to go about approaching it to satisfy what you're trying to do.
Thank you. I appreciate the info.
So in the past, you had introduced us to a gentleman that specialized in chatbots. Well, I mean, basically, you have a conversation with a sales rep, an AI sales rep. Do you have the ability to give us information, like contact information for that, or how would we go about starting that discussion?
I'm just trying to remember who you're referring to. Where
I'm trying to remember, like back in the past when you were first starting out, you had various discussions, interviews with several people that you introduced the crew with, and I forget his name, but I
probably
know that he gave this
Damien.
example of he called the number and initially it answered in Spanish and then it recognized that he was
Uh-huh.
speaking English and then it
Yeah.
adapted. So I'm
Yep.
just wondering.
You're talking about Damien Rufus. You can connect. He's on Facebook. I would just send him a DM and connect with him.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome. Well, Drew, we got to hop. So thanks everybody for coming to hang out. I'm sure Kim will be more than happy to hang out for a few more minutes if you've got questions. But everyone have a great day and nice job, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you
Thank you.
also, guys, for joining. This will be posted in school, all the resources that we have in here. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.